Is Rockstar worth it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to help you answer that exact question. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to our next adventure with me, Jason. And as I said, we're going to be doing a deep dive, in-depth analysis of the Rockstar category of cabins. One thing to make mention of is obviously when you're purchasing these cabins, they are bundling the goods and perks together. You cannot choose to go into a Rockstar or Mega Rockstar cabin and say, well, I want the cabin, but I don't want the perks, right? This is not possible. When you go into a regular cabin, there are ways for us to construct a very similar experience. I'm going to be using the Sea Terrace as the benchmark or baseline cabin type. To look at the Mega Rockstar, I'm using the Gorgeous Suite. And in terms of the Rockstar, I am using the Seriously Suite. We are going to use a 7-day sailing that is got both cabins available. In fact, every cabin type available. That way there's no dynamic pricing necessarily interfering with punching up the numbers here. And not only that, it has to be a sailing that goes to Bimini and leaves from Miami. First things first, you can see that I've listed the price of the cabins. From this, we're going to look at all the kind of costs we could more or less identify. So for example, how much would it cost to just have a cabin with all the general perks that come with going on any Virgin Voyages sailing? And for that, again, we go to our baseline, which is the Sea Terrace. Because again, all Rockstar suites have got a balcony and a hammock, which is exactly what Sea Terrace cabins do. I know the cabin sizes are different, the locations are different, I get it. That's an important point to keep in mind, but right now we're going into the costs and I'm just trying to explain the reasoning and logic here. I haven't forgot about that. The second thing that they both have in common is going to be the fact that you get early embarkation. How did I get to the value of $250? Very simply put, this was at the time that I checked the current going rate to getting the Splash of Romance package. The Splash of Romance package is the only way for someone who is not with Deep Blue Extras to be able to purchase priority boarding. So $250 is the going cost then for early embarkation. Third item that they both get as a perk is going to be the premium Wi-Fi. Now, the current rate of the premium Wi-Fi is $25 per day. Of course, if you have Deep Blue Extras, then you'll get that for free. So 7 days sailing times 25, we get 175. The fourth thing that they both share in common is going to be access to a Rockstar Cabana on Bimini and Richard's Retreat. This is a shaded area where you are going to get the exact same food that everyone else gets, except you can have someone get it and bring it for you. And they do have their own bar there. So you also then get a private shuttle. I haven't costed that in here, although you could include it in here. How did I get the value of $500? Well, because sometimes there is spare capacity in the Rockstar area at Bimini. And so if there is such capacity, Virgin will sell the Rockstar Cabanas and they sell them at a rate of around $500 for the day. The fifth item is where they have same, but slightly different. So we're going to start with the Rockstar cabins and then talk about the Mega Rockstar cabins. All suites have got a in-room bar. Now, it is stocked initially for everybody, but for Rockstars, that is the only time it's going to be stocked, and that is it. If you want any refills or top-ups, you can purchase extra, but the first one is essentially on the house. For the Mega Rockstars, this will be topped up every single day. As long as any single thing has been opened, they will literally replace the whole thing. I took the average value of all the things that they give you. It's usually a couple of beers, 2 really inexpensive or 4 inexpensive, I think, wines, like 2 reds, 2 whites. They give you 2 mini bottles of Moet Chandon, which is going to be the most expensive thing that they give you, and then 1 or 2 spirits. My own estimate got it that it was around $250. Now for Mega Rockstars, they get the same in-room bar, but it's going to get topped up every single day. So this was just a case of taking my estimate for the Rockstar of $250 and multiplying that out by 7. Now number 6 is where we have every single day in Richard's Rooftop happy hour. During this happy hour, you can order as many drinks as you want between yourself and whoever else is in your cabin, and they will bring it to you from this menu at the bar that's in the area. Now, how did I come about the cost for this? I took the most expensive single item that they offer on this bar menu for the happy hour, which would be a single glass of champagne, which at the time that I checked was going for around $21 per glass. I then said, let's assume each person is going to have 4 drinks in that hour, so 1 drink every 15 minutes. Again, you could totally crush that, etc. This is not a competition. It's about kind of thinking of the reasonable long-term average consumed by most people. I think 4 is quite strong. and then multiply that by 2 because we're going to assume there are 2 people in the cabin. So each of you are going to have that. And then it's a 7-night sailing. So you're going to go to this, let's say 7 times. Again, we're assuming you're going to go to these. And that is going to give you the total cost of $1,176. Now, the reason it's a little different for the Mega Rockstars is because yes, they do have access to this happy hour every day at Richard's Rooftop. But actually, Mega Rockstars essentially have a drinks package. So it's for them the exact same thing, but they don't have to only go to a single hour-long event every day. This is their day-to-day the whole time. However, you may have thought, okay, so how did you work out how much the average person is going to drink? That's a very fair question. What I actually did is I said, look, let's go look at a comparative cruise drinks package from another cruise line. And for that case, I used Royal Caribbean's deluxe drinking package. For a 7-night sailing, it ended up coming to a cost of $1,470. Now, again, this is all looking at the average person. Someone may be able to drink excessively, but we are not looking at these outliers of people who are going to drink like crazy. We're taking the average person who will go Rockstar. And right now we're going to leave the Rockstars alone for a moment, but we are going to rejoin them in a second. We are now going to speak about perks in particular that have got a cost associated with them, which are exclusive to the Mega Rockstars. So one of those perks is going to be the Spa Pass. So Mega Rockstars have got all access to the spa facilities the entire duration of their sailing. Now, the last time I checked, the going rate for a week-long Spa Pass on the ship per person is going to be $39.70 per person per day. So we take that, multiply by 7, multiply by the 2 people who are going to now have that, and we get a total of $557. Number 8 on the list is going to be Uber. On the day of the sailing, if you're arriving at the airport or maybe you were staying at a hotel nearby, Virgin will arrange a car to come and pick you up to take you to the terminal, and when you are having your disembarkation day, they will arrange for one to take you to a nearby hotel if you're staying on, or to the airport if you're leaving. Now for that I got $90. I used a Uber pricing for exactly Miami International to Terminal V, and I got $45. The next item that Mega Rockstar guests have access to is going to be the behind the scenes tour, and this is something that anyone can purchase when they're on the ship. So I've used that price to proxy it. If you're traveling as a Rockstar, you will have your Rockstar agent. The Rockstar agent is sort of like a extension of the application, is the best way I can put it, or sailor services. They're like an added room attendant who will be able to message you 24/7. And you'll notice I don't have a price next to the Rockstar agent because unfortunately there is no way for me to find this price. The Mega Rockstars have a super version of the Rockstar agent, which they call the Roadie. It's more or less exactly the same. It's just a case of what Virgin allows them to do, and it kind of ties back to your own individual perks. So for example, a perk that I haven't put here, which I again can't really quantify, you can ask your roadie to bring you anything from one of the premium dining restaurants to your cabin to eat. Now, when you do this, by the way, for those that are interested in this perk, they will bring everything that you order at once. Again, this is a exclusive perk to the Mega Rockstars. The last thing that they both have exactly in common, but unfortunately I cannot put a price to this, is going to be Richard's Rooftop. And now that we have all the costs that we could reasonably find, if we take all of those costs, put them together and subtract them from the cost of the cabin, we're going to be left with a number which I call the value gap. That's your premium. It's including, for example, the fact that yes, the cabins are different. Well, somewhere in this number, that's where you're paying for it. How much is Richard's Rooftop? We don't know, but it's somewhere in this number. Now, before I get to the closing and critical comments and points about this analysis, a small request from my side. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is really the ultimate show of support, especially since so many people still keep watching the stuff, enjoying it, but forgetting to hit the subscribe button. For those of you who already are subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, as I'm sure all of you know. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, please give it a thumbs up. That would be great. Not to mention, I'd love to hear back from you. So please go leave a comment in the comment section below before the video is finished. Back to the final remarks. First thing that I want to mention is, of course, this helps you immensely for the bid for upgrade process and deciding how much should you consider bidding. Because now, let's just say you've got a Sea Terrace cabin and you're deciding between one of these two particular Rockstar types of cabin. Now you can go and look at exactly the perks that we're aware of and have a cost for, and know exactly what the market rate for that is going to be. So you can literally make your bid equal to the price of all the perks that you're interested in according to their cost. That way, if you do win, you're going to get exactly what you paid for, plus of course any perks that you didn't care for, but they're on top of what you paid for. So you walk away a much happier person and not suffering from something known as the winner's curse when it comes to overbidding for an auction. Last but not least, it's not for me to dictate to you and tell you what is right and wrong when it comes to your decision as to whether or not to go for a Mega Rockstar, Rockstar or non-Rockstar cabin. In fact, it would be silly for someone to do that for you because you have got different preferences to everybody else. So the best that I can do in this video, at least in the most objective sense, is give everybody the tools at their disposal and more information to try and unmuddy the waters and make whatever is the better decision for themselves. With that said, I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.